What's up, everybody? We are in Vegas for the World Series of Poker, place where we're staying for the next 40 days. It's a real dream come true to be back here, especially while this event is happening. I remember when I was 17 years old, watching the World Series main event in the television. I had a dreams up in your life, I jumped so high I touched. And now I'm really grateful to be here. I came here today to play cash game, because there's no tournament today that is worth for me to take a shot. I'll be making content around here for the next 40 days. So if there's something you want me to cover around here, let me know in the comment section. I finally find out where the cash game room is. Not too many people in the cash game room. Now it's early afternoon, like 2 p.m. My name is Romulo Dorea, and this is the Poker Profit channel, the first poker vlog created to help you becoming a better poker player. I buy in for 300, which is the max at the 1-3. First hand I'm in the cutoff with pocket 4s, hijack raises to 10, I call, then the small blind 3 bets to $42. Most likely I'm gonna fold if everybody folds to me, which doesn't happen. Big blind call, hijack calls, and now we have a clear set mining situation where I'm gonna call $32 for a pot that has 134, and I know I'm gonna hit my set 1 every 8 times. So there are definitely enough implied odds so this call is profitable, so I call. The flop comes king, 10, 8, all clubs. Small blind goes all in for $180. Big blind calls. Hijack goes all in as well, and I fold. It ended up that small blind had ace king with the ace of clubs. Big blind had 6, 7 of clubs, making a flush in the flop, and hijack had a set of 8s. So everybody had a decent showdown. I buy in for $50 more. Next hand I'm in the hijack with ace 10 offsuit. I raise to 10. Only the small blind call. So we go heads up to a flop that comes 7, 7, 5. This flop most likely didn't hit none of us. He checks to me and I'm gonna bet to protect my equity. I bet $10. He calls. The turn is a great one. A 10 of clubs. Now there are 2 flush draws in the board. He checks to me and I'm definitely gonna bet here. I bet $26, he calls. Most of the hands I'm beating here are flush draws and pocket pairs lower than 10s. The river is a blank, a 3 of spades. He decides to lead out to $35 in a snap call. He shows king 7 of diamonds, making trips in the flop. I could definitely have lost way more money in this hand, and he takes the pot. This table was kind of tight. A tight 1-3 table with the buy-in of $300 max is not the type of table I want to play in Vegas. So I decide to go to a place where the field never disappoints me. Being completely honest with you, I believe Bellagio has the softest 2-5 in Vegas. Many loose players, limpers, and people that are just not good at the game playing 2-5. I really advise you to check this place out when you're in Vegas. I buy in for 500. One of the first hands I get pocket 6s on the cutoff. Low jack raises to 20. I'm usually gonna go to a 3-bet here, but I see that the button is about to fold his hand, and I felt strength from the low jack, so I decided to go just with the call in position. Everybody else folds, so we go heads up to a flop that comes 5, 5, 7 with 2 hearts. Most likely I'm winning this hand. He bets 15, and I call. Turn is a 4 of hearts. I don't have the 6 of hearts, and now I have open-ended plus the pocket pair. Now he bets 60, pretty big bet. I don't think he would bet that big with a flush already. So I put him on many flush draw hands. Over pairs would make sense for him to bet that big as well. But I don't think folding is an option, even if he has an over pair, which many times he won't. But if he does, I'm still running to 8 to 10 outs and maybe win a big pot. But many times you will also have hands like ace king with the ace of hearts, or with the king of hearts, 2 overs with 1 heart. If I was out of position, the situation would be way different. So I decide to call. River is one of the best cards I could ask for. An 8 of spades. Now he checks to me, and I'm gonna bet for value. I bet 125, little less than 2/3 of the pot. I believe I should have bet a little smaller here, cause over pairs are in a really tough spot to call this bet. I think betting like 1/3 makes a lot more sense. Betting something like $75. He thinks for a while, decides to fold, and we win the first pot. Next hand I have ace 4 on the big blind. Button raises to 15. The table is short-handed. I call the ace 4, we go heads up to a flop that comes 5-5 deuce with 2 hearts, I have the ace of hearts, I check, now he bets 15, I feel like the majority of the times I'll be winning this hand with ace high, so I usually like to put into my check raise range, hands that most of the times I'll be winning, but if I'm losing, I still have some outs to win a big pot in later streets, and in this case those outs would be a 3 or an ace, in case he has a pocket pair type of hand. So I check raise to 45, he calls pretty fast. I think he's gonna be calling pretty wide here. He seems like a careless player. The turn is a queen. I don't think he has too many queens in his range, calling a check raise. His effective stack is like 320, so I'm gonna choose an amount that sends a message I'm gonna shove in the river. I bet $90. He thinks for a while and decides to fold. I change seats to get a better table footage, winning $200 now. This next hand I'm in the cutoff, with ace king offsuit, under the gun limps. I raise to 20 in position. Big blind and under the gun call, so 3 players see the flop. The flop is queen queen 7 with 2 spades. I have the ace of spades. They check to me and I decide to check back. Most of the times I'm gonna see bet here. Turn is a 7, which is a pretty good one. I'm winning this hand most of the times with ace high. But now the under the gun bets 45, and I don't think he will bet that much with an ace high hand. So I decide to fold, but this is an exploitative fold, cause overall most of the times I might be winning here with ace high. Next hand I have pocket kings on the low jack, middle position raises to 15, I 3-bet to 45 in position, it folds back to him, and now he 4-bets me to 150. He has like 330 left in his stack, and I want those chips. I feel like if I 5-bet shove, it's gonna represent too much strength, and I don't see me doing that with any hands besides kings and aces here. So I decide to choose a trickier line, which is thinking for like 20 seconds and decide just to call. The flop is okay, queen 10-5 with 2 clubs, I don't have the king of clubs. Now he separates chips and bets $60, 1/5 of the pot. I wasn't expecting for such a low bet. He has like 270 left in his stack. This bet really confused me on what to do, cause if he bets any amount bigger than that, he's just gonna be committed to the pot and I'm just gonna shove. But as he bets 60, I don't feel like he is that committed to the pot. But at the same time, I don't wanna just call and let him see the turn cheaply. So after thinking for a while, I decide to re-raise to 180. He seems surprised with this bet. I'm glad he didn't quickly shove. Now I'm pretty sure I'm winning this hand. He calls the 180. The turn is a really bad one. A queen of spades. He could possibly have a hand like ace queen and king queen. I won't be surprised to see a shove, but that's not what happens. He checks, and now after him checking, he could have some flush draw type of hands, gut shot flush draw. He could have ace king here as well. His effective stacks is around 170, and I put him all in. I just purchased that new Ray-Ban stories to get better footage for you. He thinks for a long time. In the end, he decides to fold, and we scoop a big one.
If he shows, I show.
Both show.
The hand right next to it, I get ace king suited from the middle position, one limper before me, and I raise to 25. Cut off and button call, then the big blind shoves all in for 128. Cut off and button's effective stack is deep, so I'm definitely not gonna just call here. I'm gonna raise. I decide to raise to $378. $250 more. They all fold. I show I have ace king suited. The player who is all in doesn't show it yet. I make a flush draw in the turn, but I miss the board in the end. He mucks his hand and I win it again. Winning $700 now. Next hand I get queen jack on the button, one limper before me. I raise to 30. Then the small blind re-raises to 110. Big blind goes all in for 120. I fold. It ended up they both had ace queen. Next hand I'm in the small blind with pocket jacks. Under the gun straddles to 10, cutoff calls. I raise to $40. I'm usually gonna raise a little bigger here, but $40 is fine as well. Only the woman in the cutoff calls. So we go heads up to an awful flop. 8, 6, 5, all spades. I don't have the jack of spades. I'm gonna see bet here. Many times I will still be winning. I bet $40. She calls pretty fast. The turn is the card that we didn't want to see. Another spade. Now I check. She bets $90. And I'm gonna just fold here. Next thing I have pocket tens on the under the gun +1. I raise 20. Middle position, hijack, button, and big blind call. So 5 players see the flop. The flop comes ace, 8, 3 with 2 clubs. I decide to bet 55, representing the ace, which I have plenty raising from the under the gun +1. And also there's a chance no one has the ace and I'm still winning with pocket tens, which is probably not what's happening right now, cause low jack calls, button calls as well. And to make it worse, the woman in the big blind re-raises to 180. I fold, I'm hungry, and I decide to end the session for now. Won $562 in 2 hours and 45 minutes of game.
Well guys, that's it for this episode. I'm hungry and most likely I'm gonna eat something and then come back to play, but I already have a bunch of hands for you. I'm gonna do my best to post this episode as soon as I can. Hopefully I can do it next week, and see you guys next time.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to the channel. The mission of this channel is helping you become a better poker player. I hope I'm achieving that goal, and see you next time.